You tried to give me the slip, didn't you, my friend? There was no way I was going to miss this.
Time for our tale. So here is Saul Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican legend, the middleweight, the super middleweight, the light heavyweight who fights out of Guadalajara, Mexico. Roy.
This bout is scheduled for...
So much hype surrounding. And we're underway in round one. Nice counter shot. Swing and a miss with the jab. Do you believe this? Perhaps the hottest ticket in town for this fight tonight.
This is not just hype. We are in for something special tonight. What an arena, what an atmosphere, what a build-up.
Unlucky to miss with that jab. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Halfway through the round, and man, these two are going at it.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. It's like a match made in heaven.
When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Counterpunch is my favorite kind of fighter. A good counterpuncher, those are people that make the history of that sport.
Needs to put some combination work together. One punch is good, two punches better. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. Well, he is glad to have heard that bell.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest.
Well, we've just taken a big breath, and here we go again. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
This is one of those situations you've just been hurt, you've got to get out there again. Be smart, be sharp, don't be a fool, don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up, just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
That counter shot lands. Good looking hook, but it was blocked. Neither one of them wants to hold that thought. Roy Jones Jr. in trouble. No, we don't see a knockdown.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
Halfway through the round, I'm not sure who's winning it.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
This counter fighter believes in the anything you can do, I can do better. They'll let you throw a punch first, and they'll answer you and usually hit you harder.
Reaction is second to none. It's the blink of an eye, and they're waiting for any little twitch you do. So you've got to fight a counter punch is smart.
They exchange punches. Nice counter. Can't find a home with that jab. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. At this point, you got to believe he can't win on the scorecards. Gonna need a knockout.
Wow, it's like two different leagues.
And that'll do it for the minute break as we get set to get back in the action. And there's the bell for round 3. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. You'd like to see more jabs. You've got 2 evenly matched fighters in this weight class. It sometimes comes down to who's in better condition. So close for that uppercut. This has been a very competitive round between these two.
A very close match. It shows the skill, the discipline, the respect both fighters have for each other because no one dare do anything out of turn.
Do you believe what we're seeing? Well, Johnny, I know it's still early on, but have you been surprised by anything you've seen?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you're there and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. Well, he is in big trouble here. He may have been saved by the bell.
Every second, every minute of this fight is important. Every second, every minute of this round is important. You cannot afford to lose it.
The referee calling for seconds out as we get set for another round. They have no respect for each other's punching power. Oh, wait a minute! Can you believe it? Roy Jones Jr. is on the back foot now. A much better game plan here.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? This fighter is not interested in throwing one shot at a time. They throw combinations and they throw them non-stop.
Some fighters are just gifted. Gifted with such hand speed, footwork, movement. They are gifted. They are the chosen few.
Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Trying to land that jab. the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. I promise you, all three judges here are going to give that round to you-know-who.
Dominance, without a doubt, made look so easy.
And that'll do it for the time between rounds as we get set to get back in the action. How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like, did you see that? Oh my word, down goes RJJ! At some point, the corner may have to intervene here because this fighter won't stay down.
Somebody can smell blood here. They can smell blood. They've got to be smart. Get in there. Then boom, back in the same spot again. It had once. You got away with it. You can do it again.
Only catching air with that hook. Halfway through the round, and they're struggling a little bit.
Not the best start, but you know what? The cornermen now, it's down to them doing their job. Get through the round, regroup, right, freshen up, boom. Different tactics.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. The courage on display here is incredible. It's all offense all the time. Doesn't always pay to be. As we enter the final 10 seconds here, it's probably a round he'd rather forget. Talk about Roy Jones in that last round. Boy, this next round is going to be crucial considering the knockdown we just witnessed.
You've been put down, you've got to think right, survive and then give it back the next round.
Unfortunately, this fighter not going to get more time to heal up as we get set to jump back in the action. There's the bell for round 6. Seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
Swing and a miss with that hook. Lucky that hook didn't score. This fighter has been extremely aggressive so far, Johnny, but how do they keep it up over the distance of this fight?
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the flyweight is a heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace, you can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. You know the amazing fights at a middleweight are ridiculous. That is what writes our history book.
Nobody home with that hook. Beautiful counter shot. Missing with the hook. You'd like to see someone use a jab here to establish a boxing presence, but no, they just want to fight. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something special. This fighter needs to turn the tables in this next round.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
The referee calling for seconds out as we get set to jump back in the action. Round 7, here we go. There's no way this fighter can go punch for punch. Their resistance to these blows just isn't the same.
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
Which one of these athletes is going to be the first to get rocked? They exchange punches. Can't find a home for that jab. One punch could change anything when these two step in the ring. I can't believe we're only halfway through the round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them more than happy.
The work rate is down. The head isn't moving as well, Johnny. Fatigue is starting to set in. Oh, Pensacola's finest is down. Well, they're back up on their feet, but I'm not sure why. Final 10 seconds here, and this has not been his round for sure. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round. What a huge momentum swing that's... There's the bell to start round 8. Got to get the momentum shift coming their way. What can they do here?
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very, very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle now. He's got to bluff them.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Swing and a miss with the hook. Well, Johnny, we're a couple rounds in. What are you seeing so far?
Back in the history books, some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there. These guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. You can imagine that being you. Look at the size of an average man.
This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point. Hold that thought! Roll, and down goes Jones Jr. The referee says they can continue, but how much more do they have left?
Look at his corner, look at the instructions. They're telling him to calm down, make the most of the count, get up, breathe, and move. Get behind the referee, save yourself a bit of time. You just need to make your way back to the corner somehow.
They're happy this round's coming to an end. 10 seconds left. And that's it, a unanimous decision win.
Unanimous. You know what? Smart that is. A total change of styles to make sure they got it